Hello everybody, and welcome back to another DM's Guild review. We got 5 more free adventures for you guys today, and I can't wait to get into them. The first one is Wrath of the Drake Mother by Luke Saville, a 7th level adventure, and this is actually a continuation of Dragons of Ice Spire Peak. It's something I know a lot of people have played, so you might as well get your hands on this adventure too. If you have played any of these though, leave it down in the comments and let me know how it went. But let's get into it. In the cold, unforgiving lands of Ice Spire Peak, the heroes had succeeded in defeating Cryovane, the malicious white dragon. They returned to Phandalin, not knowing that the death scream of the fallen dragon would echo across the skies, piercing the heart of a formidable foe. The dragon, Avizantara, mother of Cryovane. A vengeful cry rang through the air as Avizantara swooped down upon Phandalin, unleashing her wrath on the village. Buildings crumbled and fires roared, sending villagers fleeing for their lives. The heroes, now entrusted with the lives of the survivors, led them to the sanctuary of Axelholm, a fortress they had previously secured. As the survivors huddled within the stone walls of Axelholm, the party prepared for the impending siege. The dragon, her furious eyes blazing with hatred, descended upon the fortress. The heroes defended the stronghold with everything they had, employing restored ballistas and devising ingenious strategies. Beaten and bloodied, Avizantara retreats. Seeking solace to nurse her wounds, she retreats to Nomengard. Determined to find an end to her reign of terror, the heroes pursue her to Nomengard, a thriving gnomish city. There, they found Avizantara resting in the cool waters of an underground pool. As the dragon remained vulnerable, the party devised a plan using the resources of the city, including a heavy crossbow and spinning blades. But to truly defeat the mighty dragon, the heroes needed the assistance of the gnomes of Nomengard. Though initially reluctant, the gnomes ultimately provided a canister of happy gas, which could render Avizantara a little bit impressionable. The heroes confronted the dragon, employing their newfound resources and the support of their gnome allies. Through the combination of their heroic efforts and the surprising power of the happy gas, the party managed to defeat the fearsome white dragon. In the end, they not only avenged the destruction of Phandalin, but they also saved the remaining villagers from a fate worse than death. So that's really fun. If you guys have played the Ice Spire Peak questline, you've got to pick this one out right at the end. But moving right into our next adventure, it's going to be In Vino Augurium by Mauro Gotsch, a 8th to 9th level adventure. In the heart of a bustling city of Galore, nestled amidst lush vineyards, stood the Grand Hoyt Estate, owned by the cheerful gnome Kamar Hoyt. The estate was preparing to host a lavish party to celebrate the recent business ventures of the notorious Destin Gamarant. The air was thick with anticipation and a sense of urgency as a group of adventurers received a last-minute invitation from Kamar himself. The adventurers knew that something was amiss when they learned that a mysterious assassination plot was targeting the charming yet ruthless Destin Gamarant. With little time to prepare and a few allies to call on, the adventurers dove headfirst into their investigation, knowing that the lives of many were hanging in the balance. As the party guests began to arrive, the Hoyt estate was filled with the murmur of rumors and the clinking of glasses. In the shadows, a wiry half-elf named Bron Osta and his band of assassins were discreetly planning their attack. Bron, once an apprentice alchemist, had been expelled for gross moral misconduct, and now used his skills to eliminate high-value targets. As the adventurers mingled with the guests and questioned the estate staff, they encountered various red herrings and potential suspects. They discovered a strange wine called Vintage Zero, which, when consumed, granted them visions that could either guide or mislead the investigation. The adventurers used these visions to piece together the intricate puzzle before them, while always being mindful of the clock that ticked away the remaining hours until the assassination attempt begins. As the event wore on, tensions rose. The adventurers questioned suspicious guests, explored the vast estate, and even stumbled upon a decapitated servant's head. Time was running out, and they had to unveil the sinister plot before it was too late. In their desperation, they drank more of the enigmatic vintage Zero, hoping for a breakthrough. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie orange glow over the courtyard as the partygoers gathered for Kamar Hoyt's after-dinner speech. The adventurers felt their hearts race as they braced themselves for the impending attack. As Kamar's voice rang through the courtyard, chaos erupted. Bron, Asta, and his assassins sprung into action, their alchemical weapons poised to strike. The ensuing battle was a whirlwind of steel, magic, and cunning. The adventurers fought tooth and nail to save Destan, protect the guests, and apprehend the assailants. As the courtyard was engulfed in the heart of the battle, the adventurers discovered that another figure, Elawain Main, was also seeking to decapitate Destin. It was a desperate struggle, and the adventurers refused to back down. Finally, as the dust began to settle, the adventurers emerged victorious. They had managed to save Destan's life, minimizing harm to the guests and unraveling the identities of the assassins. Kamar Hoyt, grateful for their courage, rewarded them handsomely, though he insists you return his vintage Zero. So what did you guys think of that one? It was really, really fun. If you did ever want to have something that's like kind of a social encounter most of the time until the very end, this is for you. But let's move right on to our very next adventure. See It Through by who? Mauro Gotsch again. We've got it for 15th to 16th level characters, so get those character sheets ready. In the quaint town of Dorma, nestled among the hills, there was an air of mystery surrounding the once magnificent Villa Arga. The townspeople spoke of eerie whispers and strange occurrences taking place within the abandoned manor. It was said that the villa's owner, Khajiit, had been experimenting with arcane powers before she vanished without a trace. This tale begins as a group of brave adventurers gather to uncover the secrets hidden within the villa and set the town's uneasy spirits to rest. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a shadow on the facade of Villa Arga, the adventurers approached its imposing entrance. Within the dimly lit halls, they discovered an array of mirrors. Their surface shimmered with an otherworldly silver sheen. It was these mirrors that would become central to the unfolding mystery. The adventurers soon encountered the mansion's sole occupant, a reclusive mage named Martin. He revealed that the mirrors were doorways to a parallel realm, the Silver Plane, where dark reflections of their own selves, the mirrored, resided. These beings sought to replace their counterparts in the real world, and the adventurers would have to confront their own twisted reflections in a battle for survival. The initial clash with the mirrored was fierce but brief, leaving the adventurers shaken and determined. As they fought, the surroundings grew even darker, and soon they fought in complete darkness. The connection between two planes had been severed, and they were left alone, with only the faint glow of torchlight to guide them. Martin, possessing a keen understanding of the situation, knew that they had precious little time to prepare for the mirrored's return. The adventurers set to work, devising cunning traps and formulating strategies to exploit the doppelganger's weaknesses. They used their surroundings to their advantage, crafting traps from oil, floorboards, and even the villa's collection of antique armory. Martin aided them, providing alchemical concoctions and lending his expertise in spellcasting. As dawn broke, the mirrored returned and the climactic battle began. The adventurers, now prepared, used their carefully laid traps to surprise and confound their foes. They fought relentlessly. In the heat of battle, they discovered the mirrored were more selfish versions of themselves, only focused on survival. This realization served as a reminder of the importance of selflessness and cooperation, and the adventurers banded together to protect one another. Finally, as the last of the mirrored fell, the Silver Plane's connection to Villa Arga began to collapse. The mirrors shattered, and light poured into the once darkened halls. Exhausted but victorious, the adventurers found themselves in the real world. The warm morning sun reflecting off the countless shards of glass. Martin, grateful for their aid, offered his vast knowledge as a reward. The adventurers had not only survived, but gained insight into a previously unknown plane of existence and discovered their own untapped potential. The citizens of Dorma, now relieved of the haunting presence, pooled their resources to offer the adventurers a modest sum of gold in gratitude. That was pretty cool. I know I've seen a bunch of cartoons and read a few different books about mirror dimensions or parallel people that want to take over your body. So if you guys have ever wanted to live that fantasy, here's your chance. Moving right into our next adventure, that's the Trials of Shobalba by Andy Tan. It's a 4th level adventure. Deep in the heart of the jungle lies the entrance to the Trials of Shobalba, an ancient and treacherous dungeon filled with the deadly challenges and hidden treasures. Many have attempted to brave its steps, but few have returned to tell the tale. Will you be one of the lucky few, or will you join the countless adventurers who have met their untimely end within its walls? As you step into the dark, foreboding entrance, the weight of history and legend hangs heavy in the air. You are greeted by Rina Goldive, an experienced explorer who has hired you to retrieve artifacts of historical value within the dungeon. She hands you a map and bids you good luck before disappearing into the shadows. You enter the first chamber, the cenote entrance, and are immediately faced with a crumbling stele and a dangerous pit filled with water. You must solve the riddle on the stele to lower the water level and gain access to the next chamber. With quick thinking and a bit of luck, you manage to decipher the riddle and lower the water levels just in time to avoid drowning. Moving deeper into the dungeon, you come across the Hall of Trials, a vast chamber filled with deadly traps and fierce guardians. You must navigate these traps and defeat the guardians to retrieve the first of the 6 keys needed to unlock the final chamber. As you move through the dungeon, you encounter the House of Bats, Swords, Flames, and Ice, each presenting its own unique set of challenges and dangers. You must rely on your wits and skills to make it through each of these houses alive. The House of Jaguars proves to be particularly challenging, as you must sneak past or defeat 2 fierce displacer beasts to retrieve the key at the stone altar. In the House of Darkness, you must evade the will-o-wisps that are spawning from a giant ball of light in the room while searching for the key hidden on a random square. Finally, with all 6 keys in your possession, you make your way to the Bounded Gate, the final area of the dungeon. Here, you must navigate through the Furnace, an area filled with fire-breathing statues, to reach the Light of Xibalba, a large crystalline structure that serves as the final gateway and challenge of the dungeon. By presenting the 6 keys to the Light of Xibalba, it activates and reforms into Chakakan, the living crystal, an ancient stele left by the gods of Xibalba to serve as a final test of strength for the would-be champions. You must defeat Shaka Khan and claim the Trove of Champions, a secret hoard of gold bars, ancient coins, and an emerald tablet. As you emerge from the dungeon, victorious but battered and bruised, Rina Gold Eyes awaits you. She reminds you of your bargain to split the treasure and hands you your share before she disappears into the jungle again. So that's pretty fun. The Trials of Shobalba sounds pretty cool. If you wanted to have a tricky person on the back end who kind of messes with the party, this is something that would be fun for the DM. Moving into the very last adventure today, we've got Tomb of Refurbishment by Christopher Waples. It's an 11th level adventure in a land of mystery. Brave adventurers dared to explore the infamous Tomb of Refurbishment, a place known to hold ancient secrets, terrible dangers, and vast treasures. The group, comprised of skilled warriors, arrived at the tomb's entrance, where an eerie silence hung in the air. With trepidation, they ventured into the tomb, moving cautiously through dark corridors filled with the scent of decay and the echoes of their own footsteps. They soon found themselves in a chamber filled with intricate glowing glyphs. Each adventurer took hold of a magical gem, and in doing so, unlocked a hidden passage that led them deeper into the tomb. As they continued on, the adventurers encountered rooms filled with puzzles and challenges designed to test their wit, dexterity, and resolve. They bravely faced a room with crumbling floors, carefully navigating their way to safety. Later, they encountered a chamber that seemed to defy gravity, with platforms suspended in the air, forcing the party to leap from one to the other. In the next room, they were confronted by a half-orc named Garrick, adorned with a papier-mâché dragon head and tail. He roared at them with fierce determination, but the heroes managed to defeat him in a grueling battle. Upon Garrick's defeat, they discovered a valuable orange diamond and a set of powerful healing potions, which would prove essential in their journey ahead. The adventurers' path led them to a hallway filled with molten lava, where they were forced to traverse the deadly river using their agility and resourcefulness. They carefully leaped across the treacherous path, narrowly avoiding a fiery demise. Upon reaching the tomb's final chamber, a victory fanfare sounded, and a deep voice congratulated the adventurers for their bravery and skill. Before them lay a series of stone outcroppings, each carved with a unique shape. Using the magical gems they had collected throughout their journey, the party unlocked a hidden stairwell leading downward. At the bottom of the stairs, the group found themselves in a nightmarish arena. Two massive dark iron doors opened, revealing a mysterious beast with glowing yellow eyes and deadly tusks. The adventurers fought valiantly against the nightmare beast, their weapons clashing and spells flying through the air. With each strike, the creature let out a guttural growl, its hunger for destruction insatiable. Finally, after a long and harrowing battle, the heroes emerged victorious, the beast slain at their feet. The arena's exit, a small set of metal doors to the south, could only be unlocked with a key hidden within the beast's skull. With the key in hand, they unlocked the doors and ventured forth, only to find themselves in a room filled with what appeared to be a vast treasure. However, upon closer inspection, the adventurers realized the treasure was but an illusion, designed to fool and ultimately disappoint them. Undeterred, they discovered a hidden passageway, leading to the Crypt of Axarak, a chamber containing a sarcophagus radiating an aura of malevolence. Upon removing the lid, the adventurers found their true prize, a trove of magical items, powerful weapons, and precious gems. Their journey through the Tomb of Refurbishment had come to an end, their bravery and cunning rewarded with unimaginable riches. As the heroes left the tomb, they knew their tale of valor would be sung throughout the ages. And that one's pretty cool too, guys. It's kind of like a classic dungeon crawl done right. But if you liked any of those adventures, make sure to leave it down in the comments, and I cannot wait to see y'all later.